Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at Hasbro's Overwatch Ultimate 2-pack of Ana in her Shrike outfit. I don't know if that's what it's called. That's what it says on the package. I'm trusting them. I shouldn't, it's Hasbro, but maybe they got it right. And then Soldier 76 in his standard Player 1, as they say, skin, which is odd that they're starting to do alternate skins first. Kind of strange. Don't know what's up with that, but they are, so let me know what you guys think about that. It's kind of weird. We have an alternate skin for Ana and then also for Reaper. Very strange. In the comment section below, comment on that. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting line because it's new to Hasbro, obviously, and they have done some things very differently than what you might have expected. They're not entirely cheap garbage. They have done some things which are quite cheap and probably not the best idea, but all in all, I think it's kind of a good line if you're into spending less money and getting a decent figure for it. These provide a pretty decent value, some figures more than others. I will be reviewing more of them so you can see, but I think it's kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Since this is a 2-pack, I'll be reviewing them individually, but all in one review. And I'm going to try to go quickly so that I don't waste a bunch of your time, but I don't want to make separate reviews in case you're searching for the 2-pack itself. So this guy stands about 16.5 centimeters, which makes him just about 6.5 inches, which puts him and the rest of the line presumably almost exactly in scale with Marvel Legends, which I guess is a good thing. Even though it's not true 1/12 scale, it's a good thing that it'll fit the rest of your collection. And as you can see, there's a lot of paint on here, a whole lot. And unless they're gonna start selling like the alternate skins that are just color changes, they're only gonna get a one-off of this mold. So I don't quite know how they're making money on this line. At $20 a figure, they have unique sculpts and a buttload of paint and decent enough accessories, so it's kind of strange to me. But as far as the aesthetics go, they're really solid. I mean, we have metallic silver, we have black, we have the molded gray, we have yellow painted there, we have white painted, red painted, blue painted, more silver, more gray, glossy red on the gloves, silver. I mean, it's just, there's lots of paint. The visor has the two tones in it. It's got the red with the orange. They painted the scar. They did the hair. There's shading. It's not the best paint job in the world. You can see here, it's like, you know, it's not great, but damn, it's pretty good. I was not expecting to see this. It is cheap in some places. You can see this pistol that's molded into his holster here. It's all just solid black. So some places kind of suck, but all in all, I mean, look at the back here. They nailed it. It's really sharp looking for the price point. That's like an 8 out of 10 or more. You could easily make an argument for 9, obviously not 10 because there's room for improvement, but that's a really strong release as far as paint goes. I don't know. And people are going to make the comparison to the Figma line, and honestly, there's no point in making that comparison. Those are around $70 to $80. These are $20 to $25, so you have as much as a 25% price change. Or 75%, however you want to word it. This is a quarter of what those costs, roughly. So I don't have a Soldier 76 from Figma to compare it to. They haven't made it yet. But even still, there's no real point. They're not interchangeable pieces. You either want to spend $80 and get a higher level of finish, or you want to spend $20 and get a lot more for your money. Also, the Figma Overwatch figures have been at least partially disappointing in every release, and some releases have been straight up butts. So let's not have that conversation. There's really no point in comparing the two, okay? Okay, let's move on to the accessories. Soldier 76 has 2 sets of hands, one set of fist hands and one set of gun hands. They all work well enough, except he does have his gun, which is painted up well enough. It's kind of hard for him to get his hands in there because his 3 support fingers, if you want to call them that, are kind of hard pressed to fit inside that grip. You can do it, but it's a little tricky. And then we do get his rockets, which come on this translucent blue plastic with some silver paint on there, and they look reasonably good. No complaints there. So accessories for him, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. We get an effect part, a gun, and some hands. That's all right by me. What else do you really need? Maybe a health pack, or not the health pack, but the grenade thing that he drops for healing. All right, so that's good. All right, onto the articulation. He has a ball peg and a hinge. I can't get the hinge to move. Oh, there we go. It moved. He has like no neck though, and that's not really Hasbro's fault because they did the stylization as best they could, and he does have a small head relative to the rest of his body. I mean, maybe it's a little bit too small, but it's probably good enough. This is just a floating piece, so it won't get in the way. Shoulders are on a ball hinge, essentially. They don't go quite up horizontal, but they do rotate all the way around. You have a bicep swivel right there. Works well enough. Double jointed elbows, no problem. Wrist swivel, of course, because they're interchangeable, and a hinge, that's fine. We have a diaphragm joint, which does lean back, and it leans forward just a little bit though, side to side, just a little bit, and you do have full rotation there. And then you have this reverse ab crunch, which is really quite ugly. And it does work, but it's pretty ugly. So I don't know why they decided to make the switch to this combination of joints. It's terrible, realistically speaking. You can't make the figure ever lean to the side, and you can only rotate the waist up at the top, which is horrendous. You want to rotate down here because it's hidden by belts and things. Rotating it right in the torso is just ridiculous, and having a reverse ab crunch eliminates the waist twist and is really butt ugly. So that sucks as far as I'm concerned. Belt is it's a separate piece, but it's glued on somewhere, or it's just stuck. Maybe it's just stuck. It's a tight fit. So for the legs, you can't quite bring them all the way forward. Only about 45 degrees. They don't really go back. Going out to the side, a little better than 45 on this side. This side's a little bit more limited. You do get a thigh swivel and a double jointed knee, which isn't great, but it's not too bad. Is there a boot swivel? Doesn't feel like it. Ankles do go pretty far back though. That's nice. And not very far forward at all, if at all. That sucks. Ankle rocker is fine. It's a swivel hinge. So ultimately the articulation is like a 6 out of 10. It's almost there, but it's not quite there, and they made some really dumb decisions. It's also very hard for him to hold the rifle with both hands. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm going to save the overall rating for the 2-pack. So let's move on to Anna. Okie dokie. This figure stands about 6 1/8 inches tall, which makes it just about 15.5 centimeters, right around there, pretty close. And aesthetically speaking, she's got a buttload of paint also. Look at that. That is bootyful. It's really nice. For Hasbro, it's about as good as you can expect. It's really clean except for in like a couple tiny areas. You have the blue and the gunmetal on top of the purple. Very nicely done. I like it a whole bunch. The logo is there and it's very clean. A little bit of detail work throughout. Again, more detail work. Her body is mostly plain, but that's because it's under the jacket. Her visor is painted nicely. Her hood is painted nicely. Grenades are painted. So yeah, it's not bad aesthetically speaking, and it's all a nice new sculpt. Sculpt is good. 8 out of 10 for the aesthetics. Very, very, very clean. As far as accessories go, we do have her rifle, which is almost impossible to get into her hands because for some reason they made her hands out of completely hard plastic. So you're going to really need to warm them up to get the guns in there. But the rifle does have some paint on it, so that's nice. We do also get her pistol, which can fit into her hands a little bit more easily, but still warm them up first. It's painted well enough. We do have alternate hands, so we have 2 open hands and then 2 trigger finger hands. And then lastly, we get a blast effect for her rifle. And that's pretty nice. So accessories on her, with the hard plastic notwithstanding, 7 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, maybe even 8. You could go 8 if you wanted to. I'll let you guys decide. You can pick 8 if you like. All right, on to the articulation. The head has a hood around it, but it technically still has the ball peg and the hinge, so it'll work, but you're going to be a lot more limited in what you can actually effectively do. I would just keep the head down and just rotate it. Is that, by the way, let's check this. I don't remember, 'cause I don't play Overwatch anymore since they went all JK Rowling on everything. Is that logo supposed to be off-center? I'm guessing not. If that's the case, that's a bummer. You guys can comment on that. I don't ever play Ana anyway. All right, so for the shoulders, basically all the way up, that's fine. Full rotation, that's fine. No bicep swivel up there, but you get it in the elbow, which doesn't quite give you 90 degrees, but you get the rotation. Wrist swivel and hinge. She has the same diaphragm joint as Soldier. Hers works a little bit better, and her ab crunch is in there too, which is still a dumb design. Don't like that. And still no waist twist. So it'll get the job done well enough, I guess, but it still sucks overall. This is a floating piece, so it won't really get in the way. You can bring the leg up almost horizontally, can't really go back. Going out to the side is almost in the splits, so that's good. You do get a hidden thigh swivel behind this thigh plate. Double jointed knees work nicely. And then for the ankle, it goes all the way back and a little bit forward, and a decent ankle rocker. So her articulation's maybe a little bit better overall. So I'm gonna go 7.5, because I still think that is a bad combination of joints. It doesn't work well. So yeah, it's not bad. Okay, time for the final verdict on this set. Is it the best thing in the world? Absolutely not. Is it the best $20 figure or pair of $20 figures you're gonna get from Hasbro? Other than other Overwatch figures, probably. Marvel Legends don't see this level of detail except for the movie figures sometimes. So this is pretty good. I mean, if you're not trying to buy Figmas and you want Overwatch figures, this is your only option, really, but it's also a good option. Is it a great option? Not quite, but it's definitely good enough. So as a 2-pack, I'm gonna give this, everything included, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really nice set. There are definitely a few places where they can improve significantly, but at a $20 per figure price point, these are more than reasonable, and I think most people are gonna be okay with them. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It helps me out a whole bunch. And I have lots and lots of other videos for you to check out. So check out my playlists. I'm sure you'll find something you like. There's like 3,000 videos. And you should probably subscribe, because I do have new videos up just about every single day. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.